Military service often involves prolonged exposure to vibrations. It can be from vehicles and other military equipment. But does that exposure to vibration over a long period of time increase your risk for certain injuries? I share my perspective in this video. I'm Dr. David Geier, orthopedic surgeon, sports medicine specialist, and anti-aging and regenerative medicine expert. I help veterans by writing Nexus letters that argue that your orthopedic injuries are connected to your military training and service, so you can get the compensation you deserve. This is a video like my last group of videos. It's in a series of videos I'm making in which I answer service connection questions that I get from military veterans across the country. This question I actually got in one of my Veteran Nexus Letter live shows that I do the first Monday of the month, or usually the first Monday of the month. It's great. You can ask your questions live and I stay and answer them. I really enjoy them, so definitely check that out. But I got this question there, and I've gotten it by people that have reached out to me other ways. So I think it is worth talking about this idea of vibration in the military and can it lead to injuries? And the answer, if you don't want to watch the whole video, is yes, it can. But I want to talk about it because this plays a role in Nexus letters and disability claims. There's no question military service involves prolonged exposure to vibrations, whether that's vehicles, and that can be tanks, helicopters, trucks, but also equipment like power tools. And this exposure can definitely lead to musculoskeletal injuries, which obviously matters when we talk about disability claims. Now, there's different types of vibrations. There's whole body vibrations, and that's where sitting in vehicles, the seats of the vehicles, sitting on the floor of the vehicles. There's also hand-arm vibration, handheld tools, and they can definitely cause cumulative damage over time. And then you throw that on top of just the normally physical demands of the military can lead to injuries. First, whole body vibrations. Again, oscillatory motions, rough terrain, engine vibrations, they resonate throughout the body. Where you're going to see the injuries typically is the spine, and specifically the lumbar spine, or the lumbar or the lower back. And you're talking about, especially this repeated vibration causes fatigue of the spinal muscles. You get micro trauma of the bones, discs, cartilage, and ligaments. You get inflammation in that area. All those structures start to degenerate. Starts as low back pain, progresses to things like herniated discs, spinal stenosis, facet osteoarthritis, even sciatica or the radiculopathy with symptoms radiating down the leg. It doesn't even need to be high dose vibration. Low doses over a long period of time can lead to these orthopedic issues. In a military context where you would think about it, operators of heavy vehicles, aircraft, definitely at higher risk. Then you factor that in to being in an awkward posture, carrying heavy loads. There's no question that these can lead to musculoskeletal injuries or bone and joint injuries that affect not just mobility and pain, but overall quality of life. Hand, arm vibration, things like drills, chainsaws. You're transmitting vibrations directly to the hands and the arm, disrupting nerve function, disrupting blood flow. There's a whole term for this, hand-arm vibration syndrome, with tingling, numbness, pain, reduced grip strength, can lead to things like carpal tunnel, can lead to arthritis, can lead to tendonitis, and certainly things that can have a negative impact on your ability to work and a negative impact on your life. You look at military personnel that do maintenance, combat roles, they're particularly vulnerable. Most of the exposure to this hand-arm vibration exceeds the recommended threshold, and that can lead to long-lasting tissue damage. These are injuries not just from biomechanical stress, they accelerate wear on the joints, the ligaments, the discs between in the cervical spine and the lumbar spine. And that turns into long-term conditions, yes, potentially setting you up as being qualified for compensation if you can prove that it's linked to duty. So documenting exposure to this vibration in whatever it is, vehicles, equipment, that type of thing is very important. But also having somebody that writes a letter showing the argument, showing the scientific data that's out there that basically can establish vibration in this way can lead to this type of orthopedic injury. That can be very, very important. Now, if you're interested in learning more about the disability claims process, I have written an eBook. It talks about the 8 most common reasons the VA denies service connection for disability claims and how you can beat those. you can get that free. There's a link to it in the description below this video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Click the bell to be notified when I release a new video and when I start that Veteran Nexus Letter live show I mentioned at the beginning of this video. If you are already interested, right now you're interested in Nexus Letter for your injury or condition, there's a link in the description below. Scroll down, you can learn more about working with me and working with my team. We do everything we can to make the process simple, to make it quick, and I try really hard to write a letter well-researched with scientific studies, a letter that gives you the best chance of success in your claim. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to working with you.